That is everything. How you live your life, how you approach everything from that energy. Like I always say, your desires are your destiny. It is guaranteed. It is inevitable. Your success is inevitable. It really is. It's just a matter of, are you unnecessarily slowing it down? And that's what I'm here to help you with. Hello, my gorgeous souls, and welcome back to another episode of the Manifestation Babe podcast. Today, we are going to be talking about the 3 steps to speed up your manifestations. I have been seeing way too much despo energy out there, despo as in desperate, in the sense of people just really forcing their manifestations to come forward, to come true, to come alive, really forcing things, controlling things, trying to get them to come quicker and quicker and quicker. And where's the quantum leap? And why am I not there yet? And where is my desire? And how do I fix it? And they're really in this fix energy. So I wanted to address that. And I wanted to give my best tips on how to actually speed up your manifestations in a way where you're not coming from desperate energy and you're coming from a place of your desires being what I like to call bonus energy, where you don't actually need the desires to manifest in order for you to feel fulfilled and feel the feelings that you want to feel and all the things that you think your desire are going to give you. I want to help you cultivate that now so that when you have your desires, they actually feel like bonuses in your life. They don't feel like this life or death, stressful, survivalistic thing that just doesn't feel good when you have it, because how this energy, and this is something that I feel like not enough people are talking about, how this energy transfers over when you manifest something from that place is that then you develop this insane fear of losing it. So imagine you're on the path to manifesting your $1 million year in business, right? But you're coming from this desperate energy. We have to quantum leap this year. We got to fix this. We got to fix everything about everything. We got to control. We got to mold it. We got to shape it. We got to do all these things. I got to get there now, faster, faster, faster. And even though, yes, it's absolutely possible to force your manifestations to come forward and come alive, and miracles happen every single day, the problem is that the energy in which you manifest something, the energy in which you take action, determines the result and the energy in which that manifestation lives in. So then what ends up happening is you have your, let's say, $1 million year in business, or you manifest your dream man or dream woman, your dream relationship, or you manifest the house, or you manifest the car, or you manifest the dream career, or whatever it is. Now you have a fear of losing it because you never actually addressed the internal wounds that you thought that the manifestation was going to fix. Okay. So I'm here to show you what is the actual tea, the BTS, the truth behind how to actually speed shit up. Okay. So the first things first, and I drive my husband so crazy with this, is I like to know the why behind everything. I drive him insane because I'm the type of person who any sort of behavior, any habit, any thought, any belief, anything that's expressed to me, I'm always like, I wonder why, right? I wonder what's the cause of that. I wonder what's the root cause of that. I wonder what's the belief behind the belief. And if you're one of my students, you know that we go deep into these processes. We go deep into these limiting belief exercises where I really help you understand like what is subconsciously driving every single aspect of your life. And of course, let's drip in a little bit of sanity in there because we can drive ourselves insane by doing this. You don't want to live your whole life according to, constantly asking questions to yourself and hyper analyzing everything. But I will say, like, sometimes if we're going to talk about like, where does Catherine have flaws, or where does she fall short, or what does she struggle with? I would say I can easily get into hyper analysis mode. So you don't want to go too crazy with this, but really ask yourself, why do you want your manifestations to be sped up? Like, what is actually at the root of that? Why is there a desire to be somewhere else that you perceive to be better than where you are currently? I don't remember who said this and where I heard this, but recently, I think I read this in probably the most recent book that I've read, which is Women, Food, and God. And in there, I think she says the definition of hell, or someone's definition, the definition of hell is wanting to be anywhere else but here, like somewhere else that you're not. And you're in suffering mode because you're in one place in your life, but you're constantly thinking about the past, or you're constantly thinking about the future, or you're constantly thinking about, being somewhere where you're not. And it just drives you insane. And it doesn't actually allow you to ground yourself into the moment. And remember that manifestation is a very present process, meaning that we manifest in the present moment. We determine our future in the present moment. But if we're living in the past and hyperanalyzing everything of the past, or we're living in the future and thinking that the future is better than the present, we're not actually in the present. So we're not actually grounding into where manifestation occurs in the first place. Manifestation is a present moment energy. It's a present moment process. It's using what you have right now as your framework, as your groundwork, as your foundation, and you're building up from there. So really just identifying, like, what makes you think that there is better than here, and what if here is actually everything you could have ever dreamed of? And the moment that you're satisfied with being here, you can actually get there. Okay. So it's a little counterintuitive. I get it. But just asking yourself, like, most likely it's because you're looking to access a feeling. You're looking to access a feeling that you think the desire is going to get you. And you're forgetting that feelings can be conjured at any moment simply by tapping into our senses, tapping into our imagination, tapping into memories, tapping into creations of the mind, pictures of the mind, really taking ourselves through an experience in our mind's eye and acting as if and feeling as if will conjure up those same feelings. You don't actually need the manifestation to feel like you have it. And that's the whole key here. So remember, we don't manifest things just to manifest them. We often manifest them because of the way that we think they're going to make us feel. If I dropped $1 million in your bank account tomorrow and overnight you became a millionaire, you're probably so excited about that and so elated and so relieved. And oh my God, here's freedom. But what if I told you, here's the caveat: you can't actually touch that money. You can look at it. You can't touch it though. You can't do anything with it. You can never withdraw it. It's just forever going to sit there at $1 million. And then you're looking at me like, bitch, what is the point of that? Right? That's the thing, is that without actually utilizing it, without actually experiencing it, without actually doing something with it, it doesn't actually matter, right? Money in itself is not what you're going after. It's what you can do with it. It's how it makes you feel, et cetera, et cetera. So there's also, at the same time, right? You're seeking this feeling that you think the desire is going to get you. But at the same time, you're probably trying to push away from some uncomfortable feeling that you're facing in this moment that you think the desire is going to fix. So another example is, maybe you are single as a Pringle right now and you are desperately wanting a relationship, right? You've been on all the apps, you've been seeking the one, you've been doing all the manifestation strategies, you've been to the matchmakers, you've done everything, right? The strategies are all there in place, but you're really wreaking this desperate energy, right? You probably think that this relationship is going to make you, like, the reason why you want it is because it's going to make you finally feel accepted, finally feel validated in who you are, going to help you feel valued and loved. Of course, how could I miss love? Like, we all love love, right? And you think that finally manifesting that relationship and manifesting the one and manifesting the dream guy and manifesting the dream girl or whoever it is going to pull you out of feeling the opposite that you feel while single, right? The problem is that the external manifestations, so even if you get the dream guy or dream girl, they don't ever fix the internal wounds that we have within us and any feelings of inadequacy. Nothing external to ourselves are ever going to fill up what's inside of us. And the metaphor I love to give to my students is imagine you're standing in front of a mirror and you don't like the way your hair looks. You don't like your outfit. Like you're like, whoa, I need to fix some things, right? Maybe you have an eye booger in your eye, right? So you're like, damn, I'm not looking that cute. I need to fix a couple things. Most people are taking the approach of expecting the reflection to first change before they actually change. So it's like expecting the reflection of you to start changing its outfit and changing its hair and pulling the eye booger out of its eye, when in reality, we know that the mirror is simply reflecting whatever the object of reflection is, right? You're the object that's being reflected. And so you know that you got to go back in your closet, change your outfit, change your hair, pull out that eye booger, brush your hair, do whatever you got to do. And then you look in the mirror and the reflection is different, right? So all of this external stuff, the external world, our relationships, how much money we make, the cars that we drive, the careers that we have, all these things, the friendships that we have, they're simply of a reflection of our beliefs and our feelings about ourselves being reflected in the external world. So we can't expect the things in the mirror to fix the actual cause of what's being reflected in the mirror, right? So nothing external actually fills up anything on the inside. And it's such a Band-Aid approach that I see over and over and over again. If you don't feel loved, if you don't feel accepted, if you don't feel special, if you don't feel valued within yourself right now, the thing is that relationship, first of all, you're going to manifest a relationship that's only going to amplify those feelings. So you may actually manifest from that energy the wrong relationship because you're not coming into it from a place of wholeness. And that relationship can actually amplify those feelings that you already feel about yourself. Because again, it's not going to be any different in the external world than what's going on in the internal world. So you may end up manifesting someone who actually doesn't end up loving you, doesn't end up accepting and valuing you and making you feel special because you don't feel that way about yourself, because you think that they're going to be the ones who need to validate you and they're going to be the ones that just fix everything and make everything good in life, when that's actually your responsibility in the first place. So you really need to face these internal wounds. You really need to process any uncomfortable emotions that you're feeling right now that you are trying to almost escape in your manifestations. It's almost like an escapism. It's like, I don't want to feel the way I feel right now. I don't want to process this. It feels way too painful. And I think that if you just give me a G-Wagon and a $3 million house and $1 million in my bank account, I don't have to feel this way. The thing is that those things are only going to amplify more and more of those uncomfortable feelings. So it's actually a gift that your manifestations are taking forever. It's actually a gift. Like, thank God they're slow enough for you to address this before you end up manifesting a mess from the inner mess that you feel inside about yourself. So when you address these internal wounds, when you address these perceptions of inadequacy, these low frequency beliefs and emotions that you have towards yourself, not only is that going to speed up your manifestations, like I said, but it's actually going to make them feel even better and more fulfilling because you were in a more fulfilling place to begin with. So the second step, the thing that I want to talk about, is to make the journey more of the destination than the destination itself. Okay? Make the journey more of the destination than the actual destination. So there's a gap between where you are now and where you want to go, right? And what you do in the gap, between where you are now and where you want to go is the point of the manifestation in the first place. A lot of us struggle with gap energy. Okay. Gap energy is super uncomfortable. It is uncertain. It is unfamiliar. And we perceive it to be this negative thing that is almost like the obstacle to our manifestation. When in fact, it's the gap energy in which we learn everything that we need to learn. And by reframing the gap energy to actually be the point of manifestation in the first place and be the seed of where the best version of yourself is going to grow from, then it's like, I'm okay with being in the gap. It doesn't feel so scary anymore. It doesn't feel so uncomfortable anymore. In fact, it feels exciting. In fact, it's like, there's a point to us not knowing the specifics of our manifestations. There's a point of us not knowing the how it's going to happen. That is part of a sacred contract. That is part of being a human. That is part of the suspense and the surprise and the feeling of miracles. The reason why miracles feel so miraculous is only because we don't know when to expect them. But miracles are the most normal thing in the world. Right? They're so normal. They happen all the time. It's just a matter of us seeing the miracle and recognizing it and acknowledging it, but they're always happening. And it's that we frame them as being this like uncertain, scary, uncomfortable, oh my God, everything's wrong kind of energy that fucks with us. So yes, you have what you want at the end of the day through manifestation, but it's truly about the journey of who you're going to become on the path to the manifestation that is the manifestation in the first place. Okay, let me explain this to you on a soul level. Okay, I work with a shaman. You guys know this. I've talked about him a million times now. And it's been just so transformative for me because he teaches from a place of ancient spirituality. He's rooted in this indigenous, ancient, older than time spirituality. And when he talks about manifestation and creation and attachments and universal laws and things like that, it's really coming from this very grounded, old, you just know it's like truth being spoken, right? So he says this over and over and over again. And even if you think about it logically, it totally makes sense. He says how, we come with nothing and we leave with nothing. And what he means by that is that we come with no material things and we leave with no material things. Like when we come out of our mom's vaginas, we are not carrying money with us. We don't have clothing on us. There's nothing material. There's zero material goods that we come with. We don't transport anything from the spiritual world. And when we die, we don't take our bank accounts. We don't take our social security numbers. We don't even take our family members with us unless they die at the same time with us. We don't take clothing. We don't take our businesses with us. We don't take our marriages with us. Like we take absolutely nothing with us in the material sense. Okay. So the manifestation isn't in the things that we manifest. It's the manifestation of ourselves in our lifetime. And so continuing on to what he always says is you come with nothing, you leave with nothing in the material sense, but what you leave with actually is your personal power, your authenticity, and your seniority that you gained while being in this lifetime. And the goal is always to leave with more than what you came with, not materially, but in who you became. I think that so many of us look at the journey as the obstacle to the destination, and it's actually the destination that is sometimes the obstacle to the fucking journey. And we get so wrapped up and so attached to the things and the money and the people and the material stuff that comes with the material world that we forget that the point is in the growth. The point is in the evolution. The point is in the mastery over ourselves, the mastery over our emotions, the mastery behind knowing ourselves. My shaman always says the most important thing is to know thyself. Know thyself, know thyself. I think that's actually how I start my program. The Manifestation Babe Academy is the very first module. I'm like, if there's anything that you leave with in this program is I want to help you know thyself. That is number one to me, that you really have an understanding of who you are on this soul spiritual level. And your number one goal is to evolve and to grow and to truly be and to feel whole and to feel fulfilled in who you are as a soul. And from that, you guys, everything manifests. When I tell you the floodgates open, the moment that you connect this, that you accept this, and that you become this, that you embody this principle, that it really is about the gap energy. Okay. So falling in love with the journey is the way that you speed up your manifestation. So what you do in between, okay? How you feel. Remember, you can cultivate feelings and emotions simply by pretending that you already have the thing. Like I do this all the time. I can so easily feel what it would feel like to experience, let's say, like you guys know I love to travel, right? I don't actually have to go to a country and get on an airplane and fly there in order to feel as if I'm there. I just have to look at a picture on Instagram or Pinterest or wherever, draw up some inspiration. I close my eyes. I literally take myself there. And because I'm imagining like the skyline and the sunset and the food I'm going to eat, and I can smell the air. And again, you're making this shit up, of course, because, you know, I get the question of like, well, Catherine, if I've never been there, how do I know what it smells like or looks like? It doesn't matter, you know, reality is made up anyway. So your imagination is made up, your imagination, your reality, brain can't tell the difference anyway. So make it the fuck up. But the point is that you can actually feel like you're already there. So it's in how you feel, it's in how you think, it's in how you behave. Are you behaving as if you're enjoying the journey? As if your manifestations are all inevitable. It's just a matter of unfoldment. It's a matter of time. You don't actually need them to be happy. You can actually be happy without them. Are you genuinely like behaving in that way? And if not, just check in with that. And if not, why not? Right? My favorite question, why not or why? Who you surround yourself with, how you perceive yourself, you know, what your self-image is like, whether or not you have your manifestation is what matters. Remember, you're a worthy human being. You are born innately worthy. There is nothing that can make you unworthy. I don't care what people taught you growing up. I don't care what experiences you had with mom and dad growing up or anything that had happened to you as a baby or a toddler or a kid or all the way up until now. Nothing can take away your worth, period. It is unbreakable. It is impossible for you to lose it. It's not even a thing. When you go into the spiritual realm, like there's no such thing as worth. It's like, what the fuck is worth, right? So you're inherently worthy. And knowing that to be true and knowing that you don't have to do anything to deserve anything that you want is such a magnetic energy. It takes away all desperation. When we are constantly chasing our tails to work hard enough to feel like we deserve the things that we want, it is such a repelling energy. It is such a desperate energy. And the most magnetic energy is the person who says, I need no one. I need nothing. I can desire them. I can want them. Yeah, it's fun, but I don't like these things don't actually sustain me. And I'm happy with myself just the way that I am. And I know you know a person like this. I know you can imagine a person. There's, you know, two types of people, the person who's just desperately trying to get everyone to like them. And you can tell that they're just like, they're trying so hard. It is like a stink that fills up the whole room. And no matter how kind they are, they could be the sweetest person in the world. And you kind of feel for them. You're like, oh my God, I like really want to be friends with you. But there's just something that's like repelling me from you, right? And it's all happening subconsciously too. We don't even have to be aware of it to feel it. And then there's a person who's in the center of the room and they're like, I know I'm awesome. I know I'm hot shit. I know I'm beautiful. I know I'm funny. I know I'm charismatic. I know that I'm interesting. I know that I'm smart. I don't have to do anything to show you that. I don't have to do anything to show it off. I don't have to portray it in any way. I know that about myself. So let's just move on from that and let's just connect and let's have fun. There's no pressure here. There's no desperation here. I'm just here to be. Let's get to know each other and tell me how magnetic that energy is. Like you're drawn to that person. You're like, who the fuck is that? I want to get to know them, right? That's the same thing with all of our manifestations. We can be like, oh my God, please, please, please. I promise I'm going to work hard enough to deserve you. Ew, right? We don't want that. Your manifestations don't like that. So they're not going to come to you. So anyway, this is the key piece that makes you an energetic match to your manifestations in the first place. Now, the third one, and this is way longer than I expected, anticipated it to be, but you guys know when I start talking and it's okay. Live in the manifestation now. Don't want it, have it. So these three steps kind of like bleed into each other, and I get that, but within each one, there's nuance, right? So want, the energy of want immediately implies lack. Okay. Want will slow down your manifestations because the energy of wanting inherently says, I don't have it. And the person who doesn't have something is the only type of person who can want something. And the person who wants something inherently doesn't have it, right? And when someone actually has something, they're honestly no longer thinking about it. They're not worried about it. They're not stressed about it. They're not even thinking about it. They are living their life as normal. They're living their life with the knowing that they already have it and they've moved past it. They have moved beyond it. So you can't want something and have it at the same time because it's physically impossible, right? So in the having it, in this, it's like a mental energy, right? Everything that I'm talking about here, you don't actually need the manifestation to feel these feelings and follow these steps. Like having it is a place that you go mentally. It's an energy that you embody. It's an emotion that you feel. It's a place that you are within your own mind, right? That's going to lead you to then physically actually having the thing in real life because the subconscious mind has to connect its own beliefs and its own truths to your physical reality. It is an evidence-seeking machine. So when you fully believe something and feel something, even if it's inside your own mind, your subconscious mind can't help but seek evidence for it in its physical reality because it needs to prove itself right. And so that's like the basis of manifestation in like the brain sense when we explain it as like, I guess like the how the mind works way. That's literally all it is, right? If you don't resonate with like the universe and the woo woo and the universal laws, like that's just the basics of it right there that I explained to you. So the version of you who already has it, how can you tap into her? The version of you who has it, what is she actually focused on? Okay. If it's more money that she wants, how does she think that money is going to make her feel when she finally has it? And how can you feel those feelings now? Okay. She's going to feel relaxed. She's going to feel content. She's going to feel taken care of. And she's not actually going to be thinking about money at all once she already has it. So if you're someone who's constantly thinking, like let's say you have a goal of manifesting 100K this year, but all you're doing is constantly worrying and stressing and thinking about the 100K over and over and over again, are you really being the kind of person who already has the 100K? No, right? Like you're not going to be thinking about, and this version of you is not going to be thinking about like, how am I going to pay this bill or if the sales are going to come in or not? Like you just know that it's taken care of. It's this faith, it's this trust, it's this delusion, like in the best way possible. It's like an intentional delusion. Like I'm going to be taken care of. Everything is fine. Everything is going to be handled because it is, because that version of you already has those things handled. So if you're acting and thinking and imagining as if you don't have those things handled and you're approaching life from an energy where those things aren't handled, you're not actually matching the two realities. You're not actually collapsing the two different timelines from merging into one. And that's what's creating this disconnect. And that's why you feel like your manifestations are taking so goddamn long when they can be merged in an instant. And again, it happens energetically first. So this version of you is busy living life. Okay. When people tell me like, what do you do, Catherine, when you're waiting for the manifestations to come? I'm living my life. I am busy living. Okay. I am being distracted by a million things. I've got lots going on. And the last thing I'm doing is worrying about where is my manifestation. So if that thought comes in of where is my manifestation, you need to nip that in the bud. Cancel, clear, delete. Let's focus on something else. Right. So this version of you, she's too busy living. She's serving her people. She's thinking about fun activities that she's going to do over the weekend with friends. She's thinking about how amazing her family is. She's redirecting her focus to how much she loves and appreciates her partner. Ooh, I want to do something nice for my partner, right? Instead of, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, is anyone going to buy my program? Is anyone going to buy this? Oh my God, am I going to sell enough tickets? Am I going to, versus, wow, life is so full, so good, and I have so much to give. I wonder if I can do something nice for my partner. I wonder if I can do something fun with my friends this weekend. Or, oh my gosh, I really want to create this or paint this or do this or do that. Like they've gone beyond it. Do you see what I mean? They've gone a step beyond it. That's the difference here. A goal is for you to access that. And I want to give you like a tangible trick, a mind hack that you can use, an actual practice. And I really want to hear from you how this practice goes. So I want to get a DM from you. Once you've done this, once you've seen how magical it is, and you've spent even 24 hours in this energy, 48 hours in this energy, a week in this energy, and just tell me, because you guys know, like my initial breakthrough with quantum leaping was in treating manifestation like this big, massive life experiment. And I encourage people to play games and experiment with their lives all the time, because I think it's truly one of the best ways that you can just dispel and suspend this disbelief that we are so used to having, just because the way our society has us thinking is in ways that are not conducive to manifestation. We've just become such logical, left-brained, analytical, overanalyzing kind of people that we've completely turned off to, receiving support from the spiritual realm, receiving support from our guides and our angels and our higher selves. If you don't resonate with any of those, like just your higher self is there to serve you. It's there to help you. And when you're accessing all the parts of you that are not connected with that aspect of you, you're just missing out on so much magic that is available to you. And I think one of the best ways to access that magic is to play a game with it, literally play a game. So I want you to set a date right now in your mind on your metaphysical, spiritual calendar. Okay, so let's just create a calendar in our minds, set a date that the universe is going to deliver your desire on that date. So let's say it's 30 days from now, you're going to have $100,000 delivered or deposited in your bank account. Okay. The universe wrote you a check, but it's not going to clear for 30 days. So you wrote it on your calendar that in 30 days, I'm going to receive this check for 100 grand. Or let's say the universe, you had a conversation with the universe in private or your higher self or whomever, God, and they promised you that in 30 days from now, your soulmate is going to come. Like you are going to meet your soulmate. That's it. End of story. 30 days from now. And this delivery is guaranteed. Okay. It's a guaranteed delivery. The universe put its personal guarantee on it. It is going to show up on that date. It is 100% promised. Okay. Now the question is, and the game is, how are you going to live your life in the next 30 days, knowing that the manifestation is now guaranteed? Okay. That is everything. How you live your life, how you approach everything from that energy, knowing that it's guaranteed, because guess what, guys, even if we didn't play this game, your manifestation is still guaranteed. Like I always say, your desires are your destiny. It is guaranteed. It is inevitable. Your success is inevitable. It really is. It's just a matter of, are you unnecessarily slowing it down? And that's what I'm here to help you with. So are you going to feel more relaxed in the next 30 days? Fuck yeah. Are you going to be happier? Are you going to be more certain? Think about the way you're going to walk and talk, okay, with confidence. If you're manifesting your dream partner, are you going to go on another date with some Joe Schmo and act all desperate and, oh my God, there's no good men out there and I'll never find them and oh my God, and all this shit that you tell yourself. You're not going to talk like that. You're not going to walk like that. You're not going to do that, right? The next date that you're going to go on, you already know that no matter what, Whether this date is successful or not, whether this date that you're with is the man of your dreams or not, your soulmate, it doesn't fucking matter because they're coming no matter what. So now you can approach your dates with fun. Now you can approach your dates with detachment, with just, oh my God, I love hanging out with new people. I met this wonderful new person. I love to get to know other human beings. This is so cool. Oh my gosh, I love this cocktail. I love this food. Oh my God, this song. Like you just get to notice more details in life. You're not so, fight or flight energy creates such a narrow focus where you just miss 99% of the life that's happening around you. And that's just a survival mechanism. You need to really focus if you're running away from a predator or trying to fight a predator, right? Fight or flight creates this like tunnel vision. When you're in rest and digest and you're in your parasympathetic state, your vision actually opens to the peripherals. So you're able to just take in everything at once. So when you're not stressed about manifesting, you actually open yourself up to 100% of life rather than just seeing things at 1% and then wondering, where's my manifestation? What if it's floating around you this whole time and all you had to do is just open up your peripheral vision? All you had to do is relax, right? How are you going to approach problems? How are you going to approach issues and obstacles in your life now? Are you going to approach them when something goes wrong tomorrow? Like let's say you're guaranteed $1 million by the end of 30 days and your tire pops tomorrow. In one reality where it wasn't guaranteed or you didn't believe it was guaranteed, would have destroyed your whole life, right? You just would have cried, oh my God, it's the end of the world. Another $500 I got to pay to the dealership. Oh my God, life sucks. This means that I'm the worst person in the world. God hates me, blah, blah, blah. Or are you approaching this and think about it? If you are guaranteed $1 million, like, it's whatever. Fuck it. Let's fix it, right? It's no problem. No big deal. Yes, it's inconvenient. Oh my God, of course it's inconvenient. Of course, it's not something everyone wants to deal with all the time, but it's not a big deal. I also call this vacation anticipation energy. I find that when I have a trip booked, within like a week of that trip, I am just in higher spirits. I'm in a better mood. Nothing bothers me. I can overcome anything. I am approaching work with a different energy. I'm just living my best life. And I asked myself one day, like, why am I waiting until I have this anticipation of a vacation to feel this way? And so then what I did was just switch that to feeling that way every single day, because every single day tomorrow you could wake up and there could be a beautiful, magnificent, incredible miracle available to you that you just don't know is coming, because of course that's the sacred contract. There is that uncertainty and that surprise element that we agreed to in the human world as souls incarnating here. And so like there's always magic available to us. And it's just a matter of us approaching life knowing that and choosing to know that. I think it's a choice. I really think it's a choice, because everyone's like, it's hard for me or it's easy for you. No, the fuck it isn't. It's just a choice. It comes down to choice. Okay, so this is how you go from wanting it to having it before it manifests. I do want to share one more tip. You guys know my really good friend Ali Ninfo was on the podcast. She also has a technique that she shared with me to decrease want, because she looked at me with her psychic energy. I asked her to. Don't worry, she doesn't do that just left, right, and center just because she can. I asked her about something and she said, your want for it is extremely high. You're like at a 90% want, and we need to get you into already having it energy. And of course I resonated with that because I know exactly what that means. And I'm like, you know what? You're so right. I do want it so badly, and that's why it's not coming. So she told me that she has a process, and it's a very counterintuitive process that I started to kind of do for myself. And I just wanted to offer this in case this resonates with you and is helpful for you, which is to list out all the reasons. Like, let's say you have something on a pedestal. You have a desire and it's really high on the pedestal. What you want to do is you want to knock it off the pedestal and you want to neutralize it and bring it to your level. So because it's on a pedestal, you probably have a million reasons why you want it and why it's such a good thing to have. Like, you've made it incredibly important. So what you want to do is you kind of want to make it unimportant by looking at, what could be some downsides to having this? What could actually be bad about this? What could actually kind of suck about having this? Like, what could actually suck about having $1 billion? Or what could actually suck about being married, right? Like just thinking in that way, or having children or whatever it is that you want, or having a certain body type or whatever you're manifesting. So for example, for me, like maybe the kind of money that I desire would, and this is just like some brainstorming that I've done with Allie, which is what if the money that I really wanted actually made me a target? Too much of a target if people find out actually how much money I make. Or maybe my kid will grow up spoiled because he grew up in a wealthy family, or maybe having that amount of money will actually make me complacent. And then I stopped doing the dharma that I came here to do. And I stopped serving the world in a way I want to because I got so caught up in a vacation for 10 years straight, right? So it sounds so stupid. And it's not, a lot of people are like, well, doesn't that kind of ruin, like put negative things into the energy? I don't think so when you're approaching it from a place of it being so pedestaled in the first place. And I think that that's more negative than you knocking the desire off the pedestal, just putting more balance into it, and then just and just realizing like, yeah, there's really great things about it and there's not so great things about it. And that's life. And life is going to come with the balance of both. And if I sign up for that kind of life, then I'm just going to be accepting all sides of that life, and that's okay. And so then I'm like, okay, I don't want it so badly, but I'm open to receiving it, right? I'm open to receiving it because there's definitely positives to it, but also not so few negatives that it just becomes way too important. Like I gotta have it. It's going to fix something within me. It's going to heal my wounding or whatever it is that we talked about before. So I think that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope that this was helpful. I truly appreciate you listening to the podcast. I just wanted to say thank you so much for tuning in with me every single week. It's been such a fun journey to create weekly episodes. It's been such a challenge for me, but it's really pushed me to just express myself more. I have endless nonstop content pouring through my soul, in my brain. And sometimes I just don't put it out there. It just stays in my brain. So I feel like having this podcast and having the weekly episodes just allows me to pour out the things I have collected over the week and turn it into content that really helps you. So everyone who's been leaving me a review on the podcast, whether it's on Apple or Spotify or any other platform that we show up on, I think those are like the two main ones. I just want to say thank you so much. This podcast wouldn't be the success it is without you, and every single review matters, and it just helps us get on the map, and helps my content get out there into the world and just truly serve more people. So thank you so much for being here, and I will catch you in the next episode. Mwah. Bye.